for the love of all that is Cheetos. It's been a Monday of the days. Thank you guys all for joining. Love my new headband. Am I still muted? I know there's a 10-second delay, so if you guys can hear me now, just let me know. It should be unmuted because I was trying to clean my desk and I must have just tapped the mic. But this is my new Futurama headband. Highly recommend for, current news going on, because at this point, it's 2024, y'all. We all need a brain slug. I'm just saying. It is crazy news out there again, but that's what we're here for. Definitely, I think it was like $9 on Amazon. So if we want to start a trend, I'm just saying we can start a trend. Unfortunately, I have some more sad news. John Amos, Good Time star, has passed away at 84. I generally thought I wouldn't be doing one of these today, but what an iconic actor, and what a sad loss for us, because he was one of the funniest people. And just a lot of these sort of comfort sitcoms are losing their actors. And those sitcoms that you just go home and you're like, look, it makes no sense. It's the facts of life. It's those comforting things that you can just watch and sort of go back to a time that was still full of problems and everything else, but it was kind of seemed simpler. John Amos, the actor best known for his role on the sitcom Good Times, has passed away. He was 84. Amos passed away on August 21st in Los Angeles of natural causes, according to his son, film producer Kelly Christopher C.K. Amos. Quote, "It is with heartfelt sadness that I share with you that my father has transitioned," KC53 said in a statement. "He was a man with the kindest heart and a heart of gold. He was loved the world over. Many fans consider them their TV father. He lived a good life," KC went on. "His legacy will live on in his outstanding works in television and film as an actor." Amos was born in Newark on December 27th, 1939. He went to East Orange High School and graduated from Colorado State University with a degree in sociology. Before his acting career, Amos was a football player. He signed as a free agent with the Denver Broncos in 1964, but was released on the second day of training camp after an injury to his hamstring. He later briefly played with the Kansas City Chiefs before moving to the Continental League, which is that in England? Is that the continent of England? Or I'm asking for a friend. I mean, y'all know I don't know what I'm talking about with sports ball. Amos made his acting debut in an episode of The Bill Cosby Show in 1970. That same year, he was cast as a weatherman Gordon "Gordy" Howard in The Mary Tyler Moore Show. He appeared in 13 episodes of the sitcom from 1970 to 1977. Amos's most famous role was as James Evans Sr. in Good Times, the CBS series created by Eric Monte and Mike Evans and developed by Norman Lear as a spinoff of Maude, which was a spinoff of All in the Family. So it's a twice removed spinoff. Interesting. Good Times centered on an African-American family living in an apartment in Chicago. Esther Roll starred as James' wife, Florida Evans, while Ralph Corder, Bernadette Stanis, Jimmy Walker played the Evans children. Jeanette Dubois also starred as Florida's best friend, Willona Woods. Janet Jackson joined the show's cast in its sixth and final season. Amos was only on Good Times for the first 3 seasons. His character was killed off in a car accident. He was reportedly fired from the show due to issues he had with the script's portrayal of African Americans. In 2017, Amos said, quote, "When the show started, we had no African American writers on the show, and some of the attitudes they had written as per my character, and frankly some of the other characters as well, caused me to say, we can't do this, we can't do that. And then they'd say, what do you mean we can't do this?" They'd go back on and on about their credits. They'd look at each and every one of them and say, "Well, how long have you been black? This hasn't or this just doesn't happen in the community. We don't think that way, we don't act that way, we don't let our children do that," he added. After Good Times, Amos appeared in the 1977 miniseries Roots, which earned him an Emmy nomination. He went on to have roles in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, In the House, The West Wing, All About the Andersons, Men in Trees, and The Ranch. Amos was also in various films like The Beastmaster, Lock Up, Die Hard 2, Coming to America, and Coming to America. So Coming to America was the first one, and then Coming with I know phrasing, a number 2 was was the second one. His final acting project was a 2023 British drama called The Last Rifleman. And I'm sorry, but I love this man. This man will forever be ingrained in my childhood for this character alone. McDowell's. McDowell's. Look, I can watch Coming to America, and I love McDowell's, okay? Louis Anderson and him just made this entire movie. I loved this character. I really did. Amos was married to his first wife, Noelle Mickelson, from 1965 to 1975. They had 2 children, son Casey and daughter Shannon. His second marriage was to actress Lillian Lehman from 1978 to 1979. In June 2023, Shannon alleged that her father was the victim of elder abuse at the hands of an unnamed caregiver. "The cruelty inflicted upon my dad leaves me questioning what kind of humans could commit such acts," she wrote on a since-deleted GoFundMe page. Amos later accused Shannon of elder abuse in 2023, which her representatives have denied. In December 2023, Amos told People that he had an acrimonious relationship with his daughter Shannon. "Right now it's somewhat acrimonious, but never mind what you might read or hear in the paper or on this medium or that medium platform. Suffice it to say we're still family and we love each other. That's the bottom line." So absolutely, and it looks like Amos and his son did work on a documentary about the actor's life that has yet to come out. So I would be interested to hear this. It sounded like he lived a rich and fulsome life, and I hope he and his daughter were able to really mend some fences before he passed. Well, in other news, dock workers are going on strike, so I guess we're all buying toilet paper now. I mean, what is it we're supposed to do this time? I was going to buy bubble gum and, baseball cards, but I don't know. At this point, no idea what to do with the many crises going on. Dock workers from Maine to Texas go on strike in a move that could spark economic doom. Well, I mean, don't let us have any hope at all news. I love doom casting sort of headlines like, yeah, it's all going to end. And, some days it's just like, can you tell me when? I mean, I'm just saying. Today is kind of okay. I'm kind of okay with Armageddon. Not really. I want everyone to be safe and healthy and not scared to death. But for the love of Cheetos, could we have some people act like normal life is happening? Dock workers at dozens of ports stretching along the East and Gulf Coast walked the picket line after midnight on Tuesday as they launched a massive strike that threatens to reignite inflation and spark product shortages at the start of the holiday season. I bring you this story only for, I think the last couple years have really taught us that the holidays are about the people we get to spend them with, especially with, how many years we were told we couldn't gather and all that kind of stuff. But, things might get a little hairy if you have a supply stack ready, not anything crazy, just an extra can of soup, a can opener, as Styx always says, because, you don't want to get a bunch of canned goods and then realize you don't have a can opener. But again, you have things like the flood and things like that where you might need supplies. So this might be just a point to maybe stock up just a tiny bit. You don't have to go crazy. You really don't. The work stoppage went into effect at 11 or 12:01 a.m. on Tuesday after the International Longshoremen's Association, which represents 45,000 workers, and the alliance representing ports failed to renew a collective bargaining agreement that had just expired. For the first time since 1977, 36 ports stretching from the strategic seaboard locations as far north as Maine and as far south as Texas, all of which handle an aggregate $3 trillion of the country's annual international trade, will be idle due to work stoppage. The labor dispute, in which the longshoremen are demanding higher wages and protections against automation of their job, puts a pause on billions of dollars worth of daily trade and threatens to cause significant damage to an economy that has been beset by stubbornly persistent inflation. It also comes at a crucial time when authorities are in need of supplies and goods to deliver in hopes of helping parts of the Southeast recover from devastating effects of Hurricane Helene. Ports throughout the Southeast and the Gulf lost power while congestion piled up as a result of the massive storm. Retailers like Walmart, IKEA, Samsung, Bob's Discount Furniture, LG, Home Depot that rely on imported goods have the most exposure to damages that would ensue if a strike were to be prolonged. Workers began picketing at the Port of Philadelphia shortly after midnight, walking in a circle at a rail crossing outside the port and chanting, "No work without a fair contract." The United States Maritime Alliance, the umbrella group representing the managers of the ports, sought to avert a strike at a last minute on Monday by offering a 50% wage hike over 6 years. But the ILA rejected the offer, according to CNBC. Port ownership hoped that the offer would lead to renewed talks between the two sides. But the union appears to have dug in on its demands in a recent video. ILA President Harold Daggett told rank and file members who voted unanimously to authorize a strike, "We will crush them." Okay, 50% in 6 years. I know it's not the windfall that you expect, but again, this economy is hurting. I I sympathize with wanting to be paid what you feel you're owed, but at some point, it's also, there's going to be some give and take. Compromise and negotiation requires both sides to be willing to, meet in the middle at some point. I don't know where I fall on this. I don't have a lot of knowledge about this, so I'm not going to, give you my hot take on who's right, who's wrong. But I do wish that there had been more work done to try to meet in the middle. This is going to go down in history, what we're doing here, he told union members. They can't survive too long. Before Monday, it had been weeks since both sides sat down to talk about a new contract. With negotiations at a standstill, the launch of a strike was anticipated. Several major ports, including Boston, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Houston, and Miami, began winding down operations in advance of a work stoppage. New York Governor Kathy Hochul released a statement after midnight on Tuesday saying that her state, quote, has been working around the clock to ensure that our grocery stores and medical facilities have essential products they need. Barring a dramatic breakthrough in talks, shippers won't have an option of rerouting cargo to the West Coast ports due to limits on capacity in handling more containers. Dock workers unions representing workers out west secured a new labor contract recently, so they will not be joining in the strike. But those dock workers, as well as their counterparts in Canada, are unlikely to agree that to handle East Coast goods in a show of solidarity with striking union members. You can be sure the ILA's 85,000 members will be supporting their sisters and brothers. James McNamara, a spokesperson for the International Longshore and Warehouse Union, which represents dock workers on the West Coast, said in a statement. Supply chain experts say consumers won't see an immediate impact from the strikes because most retailers stocked up on goods, moving ahead shipments of holiday gift items. But if this goes more than a few weeks, a work stoppage could significantly snarl the nation's supply chain, potentially leading to higher prices and delays in goods reaching households and businesses. If drawn out, the strike could will force businesses to pay shippers for delays and cause some goods to arrive late for peak holiday shopping season. Potential impact delivery from anything from toys to artificial Christmas trees to cars to coffee to fruit. The strike will likely have the most immediate impact on supplies of perishable imports like bananas. So, again, guys, I mean, this is not something that I think is insurmountable. It's not something that I think, is going to doom us all, doom and gloom, but maybe, just again, have some supplies in case of emergency. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it snows, sometimes the power goes out. That's all I'm saying. I hope that they can come to an agreement. Uh, it's just, I don't know enough about it to have a real big opinion other than could everyone please act like adults and come to the table and, do something. In my biggest nightmares ever, a fake dentist advertised on TikTok and used chemicals on a patient, making her, quote, so dizzy she had to ask the defendant to stop. Now, A, fake dentist, B, possibly getting Bill Cosby'd, and C, were you doing this in a basement? Who the hell goes to a TikTok dentist? I have all the questions. Authorities in Texas are looking for a woman who allegedly posed as a dentist and caused serious damage to a client's teeth after she inserted a veneer into a patient's mouth without making a mold for what in the name of Hades in a handbasket? Juanetta Solomon, 41, is facing a felony charge of practicing dentistry without a license, according to a probable cause statement by the Houston Police Department. The victim told the police she was on TikTok in late March when she came across a video from an account. Y'all know, we need to look at this, and I ask you this, would you go to this? THA_Toothly Houston. Yeah, that's a no. That's a no for me, dog. I'm not going to someone with a TikTok account. Maybe I'm crazy. Call me crazy, but I'm just not doing it. Now, she asked about an appointment to get her teeth fixed and was directed to make an appointment with I Smiles Cosmetic Design, Smiles and Design, and with a Z, so you know it's official. The victim sent the dentist 4 photos that included from her front, her left, and right sides of her mouth, along with another one of her smiling. The dentist sent the woman a quote of $1,000 to replace 8 bottom teeth and 8 front teeth. Okay, that's how you know it's a scam. Look, I truly get. There have been times where I've needed to have my teeth worked on, and there have been lovely dentists that offer like a free holiday day where you can go in and get some things done. I truly and truly understand. I've had people help me with dental work when I couldn't afford it. So I get needing to have dental, help and it being, way out of reach. But $1,000 to replace 8 bottom teeth, that's just that does not compute. Plus, $350 for a bridge, the cops wrote. On March 30th, the patient went to the so-called dentist office on West Park Drive on Houston's west side for a woman who identified herself as Nikki Calloway, the complaint said. She later identified Calloway as Solomon. Solomon did not make a mold of her teeth or her mouth, but instead applied composite veneers and a bridge using a lot of pressure and a chemical that made her so dizzy she had to ask the defendant to stop and give her a break. Cops wrote, Solomon alleged that she then used tools as described, a drill and file to shape the material placed on the teeth. The complainant said that she started having trouble closing her mouth and asked the defendant to make them thinner because they were too big and uncomfortable. In the ensuing days, the victim had trouble sleeping because of the pain in her mouth. About a week later, she reportedly called Solomon to request help because her mouth was bleeding. One of her teeth had also fallen out. Solomon offered for her to have another appointment, but the victim instead called the police. Okay, good. Detectives confirmed with the Director of Investigations for Texas Board of Dental Examiners that Solomon does not have a license to practice dentistry, nor is she a hygienist or an assistant, per the affidavit. Investigators identified Solomon as the owner of I Smiles Cosmetic Designs and issued an arrest warrant on August 30th. Solomon has yet to be arrested and landed herself on the latest Fugitive Friday list by Crime Stoppers of Houston. Anyone with information can call 713 222 8477. Let's find this woman. It just, my heart goes out to the victim in this, but it just, ma'am, when the dentist place ends words with Z, I'm calling BS. I am calling freaking BS. Let's see what the nassholes are up to. I love my nassholes. Uh, oh, we're gonna grow mushrooms on the moon? I mean, that's probably the best headline I've heard in a while. Are we doing psilocybin? Just asking for a friend. NASA's wild plan to grow mushrooms houses on the moon. Because why not? I mean, let's just have mushroom houses. NASA is cooking up a plan that's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Mushroom houses. Forget about blasting tons of concrete and steel into space. The space agency is betting big on fungus to build future habitats on the moon and Mars. With the cost of sending just 1 pound of material to the moon a whopping $1 million, NASA is looking for a solution that doesn't involve shipping up bricks and boards. Well, I would hope that they're not using drywall out in space, but okay. Enter mysotexture. So myso, the prefix MYCO, is fungus, and then texture, I guess, is architecture. Now, I don't know that I'm going to trust a, fungy house, but okay. I don't plan on going to the moon. Unless, and of course, Elon Musk sends me with all the latest and greatest, technology and accoutrement, because I'm a firm believer in glamping, and I would be totally okay with glamping in space, but I'm not going to do real camping in space. That's a no for me. Cutting edge method of using fungal spores and algae to literally grow structures once they land in space. You can't take boards or bricks, Chris Maurer, founder of the architecture firm Red House, which is partnering with NASA on the project, told Al Jazeera. So what are you going to build with? The answer, lunar dust, water, and fungus. I'm glad I'm wearing the brain slug today. The process is pretty wild. NASA plans to send sealed inflatable molds to the moon where fungal spores will combine with algae and water and grow into durable structures that can withstand the moon's extreme conditions. I'm calling BS. That's the algae? It looks like Death of to Fortnite. I don't know. No, why does this look like Minecraft and Jello? Uh, let's see here. These mushroom-based materials have some serious perks, like shielding astronauts from harmful radiation and even blocking dangerous micrometeorites. Radiation is the showstopper for many manned missions, said Maurer. That's why we haven't been back to the moon since the 70s. Oh, well, I thought they were going to tell us the truth about the moon people, but okay, we'll go with, radiation. He explains that the mysotexture can block over 99% of radiation within just 8 centimeters of material compared to the 10 feet of lunar dust needed to do the same job. That's a game changer for keeping astronauts safe. NASA's next step involved planning to test small scale models on the moon by 2028 and ramp up from there. These mushroom buildings can block deadly radiation, so I don't know, but the dream isn't to stop with the moon. Mars is on the next, I guess fungus fueled home, can you imagine home network on the moon? Yes, my wife and I are astronauts. She does, crafty origami, and I do part-time salamander, wrangling. And we have 14.5 billion as our budget. Can you show us our fungi home? It's going to be wild. The future is nuts. Let's see. It's almost like science fiction. Jonathan Desi Olive, an assistant professor at the University of North Carolina, told the outlet. They're working on having structures basically cultivate on their own through multi organism cooperation, which is exciting. In a few years, astronauts could be living in a fully grown fungus based habitat, all thanks to some clever biology and a whole lot of imagination. NASA's betting big on mushrooms, and it might just be the key to colonizing other planets. Okay, did you guys bet on psilocybin too? Because this sounds like something I would make up when I was high. I mean, no offense, the science sounds super cool, and I'm totally here for it. It just sounds like someone had a gummy when they thought of this. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying this does not sound like this was created during a sober moment, and I'm here for it. Speaking of sober, this guy was. A sober driver arrested for a DUI and thrown in jail because the officer knew his brother, quote, guaranteed, end quote, he had weed in the car, says a lawsuit. Well, doesn't that seem like a douchey douche move to do? A driver in Tennessee is suing the state and two state troopers for $1 million dollars after he said he was wrongfully arrested and detained for a DUI despite being completely sober. Thomas Manis was pulled over while driving along US 411 in Monroe County, which is about 50 miles south of Knoxville, on December 29th, 2023, according to a federal lawsuit filed in the volunteer state. Trooper Riley Schreiner told him the tint on his windows were too dark and allegations Manis said is baseless. The complaint says that Schreier ordered Manis to provide his license, registration, and proof of insurance. He cooperated, remaining, quote, respectful, restrained, courteous, and compliant throughout. Nevertheless, Schreier went back to his patrol card and shared Manis's name with his colleagues. Officer William Yates Matoy, who was with him on the scene, Schreier told Yates McCoy that he saw no evidence of intoxication, nor did he smell marijuana. Yates Matoy, however, knew who Manis was and allegedly drew his own conclusions about his state of mind. Upon learning of the plaintiff's identity, Officer Yates Matoy stated that he knew the plaintiff's brother and he, quote, guaranteed plaintiff had weed in his vehicle and the plaintiff had probably smoked weed the morning of the incident, the complaint said. At this point, Schreier went back to Manis's car and asked him about drug use. When Manis asked Schreier why he was being interrogated, Schreier told Manis that his eyes were red, therefore Manis was suspected of driving under the influence. Manis told Schreier that, quote, his eyes were red because he had just woken up. That's when Yates Matoy, unsatisfied with Manis's successful performance on the field sobriety test, took over, the lawsuit alleges, instructing Manis to perform additional field sobriety tests and asking him to recall the most recent time he had smoked the devil's lettuce. As Manis' traffic stop was happening, his mother, Angela Manis, drove by and pulled over to the side of the road. Quote, why is my son being arrested? She is heard asking Schreier, who is wearing a body cam, according to a report from Nashville NBC affiliate WSMV. Good deal, Puddletown. I'm here for it. For driving under the influence, Schreiner replies, he's not been drinking. Angela Manis says, if you have falsely arrested him, you're going to be in trouble. She is also heard saying on body cam, I can promise you because I know my son. According to WSMV, the body cam footage shows Schreiner repeatedly turning off his audio, once during a conversation with Yates Matoy and once during a conversation with a tow truck driver who asked the state trooper if Manis was drunk. Manis, who allegedly passed additional field tests, told officers it had been 4 years since he last smoked and guaranteed that if he was given a blood test, it would come back clear. Yates Matoy then administered more tests on Manis before arresting him for DUI. Quote, the plaintiff was placed in the back of a patrol car, despondent, dehumanized, handcuffs, and in fact sober as established by the blood test subsequently administered. The lawsuit said that later tests confirmed that neither drugs nor alcohol were in Manis's system at the time of the arrest. So, yes, it does show that he had absolutely nothing in his system. It's all negative. So, no basic, not street legal pharmaceuticals, no opiates, no benzo, nothing, just nada. Despite this, the complaint says that Manis spent several hours in jail. His mugshot was taken and made publicly available, and his vehicle was seized and towed to the police impound yard. Months later, in April, the charges were dropped, according to the complaint. Quote, officers Schreiner and Yates Matoy have no valid legal basis to extend the traffic stop beyond the matter of the window tint, administer a sobriety test, and arrest Manis, the complaint says. The lawsuit says that violating civil rights is a problem across the agencies, and the officers know about it. Quote, on information and belief, the Tennessee Highway Patrol in the Knoxville area, which encompasses Monroe County, has a custom and culture of violating the constitutional right of others, the complaint says. Though not a written policy, this custom is so widespread as to have the force of law. As a result, the lawsuit alleges that it is the custom and culture of the THP officers in Knoxville to protect its officers when civil rights violations have occurred. Manis claims include unlawful seizure, false arrest, illegal search, false imprisonment, and assault. His complaint seeks $1 million in compensatory damages and an undetermined amount in punitive damages. The Tennessee Highway Patrol did not immediately respond for comment. So who knows? This is ridiculous. I don't know what is going on with state troopers. I don't know if you have to pass like a personality douche canoe, personality test, but state troopers have not been showing their best. They've been showing their behinds here lately. So hopefully this man, $1 million, I want these officers to have to pay this. Why should us taxpayers have to pay when these guys are douchebags? Why can't we just go after the officers? Because you know what's going to happen. If they settle this, it's going to be the taxpayers that pay this, not the officers who are absolute dingleberries that lost, their minds and decided to play Lord God of the law. It's just, ugh, I dislike this whole attitude they have. As a person who's been pregnant, 6 times, I would never in my life, you pee on a pregnancy test. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star defends her decision to put a pregnancy test inside a cake. Ew. You pee on those. You pee on those. Why would you do that? Oh my gosh. Yikes. Why? No. I have a full body cringe. What is wrong with people? So this chick decided to put a test that she peed on in everyone's cake and say, surprise! And they're all like, ew. I mean, that would be my thing. I'd be like, congratulations and ew. When Whitney Levitt, look, I haven't watched this show. I don't plan to. We're just going to call her Whitney. Found out she was pregnant with her 3rd child, she revealed the news to her family in a unique, I would call gross way. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star put her positive pregnancy test inside a cake. Oh. The scene featured in the Hulu docuseries, which shows her family surprised and naturally pissed off and grossed out by the act. In a new interview with The Cut, Whitney asked if her family ate the cake. Quote, oh, of course we did. We all ate the cake. My face says, yeah, no. No, just no. Now I don't even want cake anymore. Thank you for helping with my deflation, ma'am. Look, I did put the lid back on it. You peed on this. The lid is not hermetic. It's a pregnancy test lid. Don't do this. Never do this. And then she said, I Cloroxed the heck out of it before putting it in the cake, so you're giving your family bleach. Feel like she needs a brain slug for the love of all that is Christmas. What is wrong with people? I get how people were like, ew, but maybe people tried to stay away and not eat the pieces surrounding the test, but the cake was good. So yeah, we did eat the cake. Just no. Just no. Whitney and her husband Connor are also parents to his son Liam and daughter Sedona, sorry. Cute kids. Don't put pregnancy tests in cake. It's wrong, it's gross, and no. Just for the love of all that is holy. In the Mormon Wife's episode, the family sits around the table as someone cuts into the cake and they ask if there's anything inside. Oh my, ew, what is that? Whitney says as they take out the pregnancy test from the center of the cake. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Why did you put that in the cake? Whitney's sister, the normal person here, asked. In her sit down interview, Whitney confirms that it was the actual test she used. Back in the family scene, as many ews were exchanged, Whitney justifies her actions by saying there's a lid on it. This woman has, ma'am, I am trying not to be hateful to you because you're with child and you just seem misguided and dumb. But for future reference, we don't put syringes, we don't put, I don't know, vials of human fluids. We don't put things that we have peed on in food products that we give to others. This could be considered poisoning and or assault in some cases, I am sure, because if I were a judge, I would deem you guilty. This is gross. This is wrong. Don't defend this, you weirdo. At the end, she said, I guess I really didn't think it through clearly, but the lid is on. The moment elicited a number of reactions from people online. Who puts a used pregnancy test in a cake? Seems like a normal thing. I'm actually freaking out that Whitney put her peed on pregnancy test in this cake her family was going to eat. Like, this lady can't be real. Another person added, Whitney is truly diabolical because why would you put that pregnancy test in a cake? Again, why not put it in a Ziploc bag? If you are hell bent on putting your pee stick in some food article because you are absolutely just hell bent on this being the way you let everyone know that you've slept with your husband, uh, and it's fruitful, could you put a Ziploc bag on it? Could you put 3 Ziploc bags on it? This is wrong. Uh, Many others felt the same way. Yeah, no, I am hysterically grossed out. This is disgusting. This is, ugh, just ew. And here is the, evil, cursed cake. And you know what sucks? Okay, so she ruined this cake, and with fondant work like that, with the burning paper, this was probably a $60 cake, and she put a damn pregnancy test in it. What the hell is wrong with you, ma'am? I need you to come to the front of the class and explain yourself because none of this makes effing sense. Also, that's a whole lot of skin to be shown for a fairly conservative religion, but okay. I'm not judging. Hell, if I looked that good when I was pregnant instead of, like I never got a cute bump and I never just got a bump. My body also was padding for winter every time I was pregnant. So, there we go. Not knocking her. If I looked that good when I was pregnant, I'd be sporting much less too. Although, ma'am, as someone that is as pale as the surface of the moon too, maybe not all the side cutouts. So there you go. Don't put your pregnancy test into cakes. It's wrong, it's gross, and it will be illegal when I become president. In what I can only assume is what the hell is going on with Gen Z. Today, we have Gen Z are decorating their toilets with these viral trinkets for pretty poops. I have no words. Okay, those are just the gel, destinkify stuff that, is supposed to smell like, a fertilizer farm, and then sunflower fresh. Yeah, just this is weird. Everyone is losing their damn minds. There's some real potty poopers. I have talked to you, New York Post, about this. This is not allowed. As if toilet bowls weren't already full of crap, artsy fartsies, tell me what you really think. This writer was on full fuck deficit when he wrote this. He's just like, you know what? These millennials piss me off. I'm getting to the get off my lawn territory, so I'm gonna tell y'all what I think. Artsy fartsy Gen Zs have found a new way to further funk up the porcelain pot with pretty petals made specifically for stylish stools. Quote, pooping is aesthetic now, announced an ex user in a trending tweet featuring footage of a TikTok tastemaker tricking out her toilet with colorful gel stamps, which retail. I don't know what's going on. I think I need to redo my or restart or whatever the hell it is, the computer. So I'm going to do that after the stream. Why the hell are you tweeting about your toilet? Unless you're a plumber and you know how to fix it, I don't want to know what you do in the toilet. But apparently, you can get colorful gel stamps which retail for under $20. Yes, they're called toilet bowl cleaner stampy things. They're not supposed to be, you are not supposed to bedazzle the inside of your toilet with gel, people. I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but I do apparently. Because why not? You guys, this is so apparently we've all seen the, oh, for God's sake. I give up. You guys, humanity is lost. I hope the cockroaches do better with the world than we did. I'm done. I'm done. Humanity is lost. I have lost all hope for humanity. What the hell is going on here? Oh, yeah, I'd poop all over those, chimed one commenter beneath visuals of the cutesy commode, which was watched over 300, no, I'm sorry, 36. My son knows how to turn on the shower. I'm sure you're all very proud and shocked. Yeah, just, y'all, what am I supposed to do with this? Festooning the facilities with adhesive flower-shaped discs is fastly becoming the rage among 20-somethings with penchants toward glamorizing every aspect of their lives, including pottying, because for the love of all that is holy, what in, no, this cannot be a real thing. Are you flippin' kidding me? Hashtag toilet talk. Are you telling me that there is a TikTok for toilets? You guys, I can't handle this. That's it. I need my emotional support beverage. I can't do this. We've got possible World War III. We've got the dork bait tonight between, well, a dingus and a doofus, if you believe the media. And I can't, y'all. What am I supposed to do with this? Now I wonder if I need to go buy toilet paper for the love of Cheetos. Digital devotees of Toilet Talk, a niche corner of cyberspace that boasts over 25.1 million posts, regularly share top tips and tricks for cleansing and curating the can to perfection. I give up. Leveling up one's lavatory is the latest movement in loopy homemaking. Trailing the recent fridge-scaping fad, the auteur trend encourages fashionistas to fancy up their refrigerators with flowers, framed pictures, and a few thoughtfully placed groceries for media approval. Both kooky crazes come on the heels of the airport tray aesthetic mania, which sees sky travelers neatly unpack their personal belongings into TSA bins and snap Instagram-worthy pictures before boarding a flight. It's no wonder that Zoomers are catching a bum rap now thanks to their toilet stamp obsession. It's getting more foul. 20-somethings of the pretty potty persuasion are praising the fragrant floral stick-ons offered around $16 by big-name brands like Lysol and Scrubbing Bubbles, as well as lesser-known vendors on TikTok. for their many benefits. Sarah, a self-proclaimed millennial mama of three boys, says the cleaning pad give her brood a place to aim when they're using the John. I, I, okay, I can't with this. Apparently, this is a thing. This is why I reject my millennial status and claim genlennial status, because I want no part of stupidity and ridiculousness. So there you go. If you'd like to be, I guess, gel bedazzle your toilet, have fun with that because this is literally making me question my sanity. I can't, y'all. Um, in more ridiculous news that doesn't involve a toilet, thank God, I hope, Mississippi coroner behind botched death notifications says she'll retire. Well, that's sweet of her. I'm guessing the families will get some sort of idea where the kid or where their family members are. Sharon Grissom Stewart has been Hinds County coroner for 25 years. She has never spoken publicly about the failures to tell families about loved ones' deaths. A longtime elected coroner in Hinds County, Mississippi, who has faced withering criticism last year for burying men in paupers' graves without notifying their families, is stepping down early. Well, how sweet of her. How very big in her heart that she's decided to stop taking tax money for, not doing her job. She's a hero. If you couldn't tell, my eyes just rolled so hard that I think I might have affected the Earth's axis. So I am sorry for any situation or seasonal, fluctuations due to my eye roll. Sharon Grisham Stewart, a Democrat, announced Monday that she would retire December 31st, 3 years before the end of her current term. In a statement from her office, first reported by local NBC affiliate WLBT, Grisham Stewart said it was, quote, time to start the next chapter of my life. After 25 years of being on call around the clock, she said she planned to spend more time with her family and explore, quote, personal and professional opportunities. Her statement did not address the Pauper's Grave scandal. She has not spoken publicly about it since NBC News began uncovering cases in which the county had buried men without giving their families an opportunity to claim their bodies. Some of those families had reported the men missing to local police. A mother of one of those men, Jonathan Hankins, confronted Grisham Stewart in February at the county's Paupers Field. During that conversation, captured on a cell phone recording, Grisham Stewart apologized to Gretchen Hankins and said, quote, I didn't know how to find people. It's kind of your damn job. Don't take a job if you can't do it. What the hell is wrong with people? If you can't do a job, admit it. There is nothing stronger or nothing better than a little humility and say, hey, can you please help me? I don't know how to, deal with this. I don't know where to find these people. I want to give these people the human dignity in their death that maybe that I feel should be given to everyone. But instead, she's like, no, that's too hard. I want to go home. I've been on call. Let's put him in the pauper's grave. What a thunder cow. Allegedly in Minecraft. Do not sue me, ma'am. You did gross, inhuman things. Your entire job, yes, is to, function for the government, but you'd think as a human being, you would want to give people dignity in death. You would want to give people, the same treatment that you would want to be given, regardless of your station, your creed. Everyone has a family or a tribe or friends that want to know where they are. This is ridiculous. Coverage of the burials stoked public outrage, prompting the Hinds County Board of Supervisors to enact a policy requiring a coroner's office investigation to check missing persons registries, nearby police agencies, and other public service officials, as well as social media to find relatives of people whose bodies had gone unclaimed. Police in the city of Jackson adopted a policy outlining how officers must notify families when a relative has died. This wasn't policy beforehand? Am I missing something here? I know I'm naturally blonde under here, but am I missing you couldn't do a simple daggone Google search? You couldn't go down to the DM flippin' V? You couldn't ask the damn police? Ma'am, did you do a damn thing, or did you just say, "Those people don't matter because I don't care and I wanna go home"? Absolutely garbage, trash water human behavior. Grisham Stewart was first elected in as Hinds County coroner in 1999 and last won re-election in 2023. She did not immediately return a message seeking comment. It is unclear who will run for the coroner's office after she departs. This is just gross. This is gross and ew. This is so bad. Again, everyone deserves basic human dignity upon dying. It's something that we're all going to have to deal with. And you would think a person in this field would understand that, everyone deserves basic human dignity at that time. Everyone would like to be given, the opportunity to maybe be placed with their family or be placed with their friends or their dog or who the hell cares what people want to do, but you should at least act like they're not human garbage. You freaking thunder cow. Sorry. I don't mean to get so angry, but these people are irritating me by being so damn stupid. It really is bothersome. In our final story, something a little more interesting. At least I thought I had it. Up here. Aha. And I am going to restart my computer after this because apparently it needs it. If she did have staff to do the research, she didn't have them do it, or they didn't do it thoroughly, is all I can figure. My guess is she thought that they were, she didn't care. She didn't care at all. And I wish I could put a label on it other than that, but she didn't care, and she didn't treat them with the respect that everyone should be given. Purple apples are going viral on social media. Orchards are being inundated with requests, but there's a catch. Do we give it to Snow White and she goes to sleep? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend or, someone who might need a poison apple at some point. Apple of my AI. Fruit enthusiasts are allegedly flocking to Saskatchewan, Canada in search of purple apples after they were pictured in viral social media snaps. But there's just one problem. The images are artificially created. It looks amazing. It would be so fun, but unfortunately, it's not real. Rachel Hofmeister, a horticulturalist at Dutch growers in Regina, Saskatchewan, said of the snaps in an interview with CTV. Let's see here. The original post uploaded to Instagram by a user, Unnatural AI, shows several purple apples. For the love of Cheetos, would you just not mess up for like 5 seconds? I'm almost done. Me talking to my computer like it's my kid or cat. I love it. Let's see. The account geotagged Knott's Berry Farm, a theme park in California. However, the Unnaturalist AI post described the purple apples as originating from the Canadian province of Saskatchewan. I'm just proud I said Saskatchewan, sort of right, sometimes, where they thrive in the chilly climate and taste like cinnamon and banana. Who the It says Unnaturalist AI. Who saw that and didn't think, maybe it's a trick? I mean, maybe I am just a cynical a-hole who doesn't believe anything anywhere and on the internet twice as hard. Thank you for your super chat, Mel Comp. Yeah, today is a people are ridiculous, though I will admit that maybe I'm in a more or less charitable mood because we found a big leak in my basement and we're having to wait until it dries out, or all the drywall from the ceiling dries out until we can do Nancy Drew about where the leak is. We are exceedingly lucky that Mr. Mo knows how to do a lot of drywall and home stuff, but still, it's like one thing I didn't want to deal with today would be a leak. on our basement. But we got all the drywall from the ceiling down, so that was fun. The boys thought, like, "Are we doing demolition?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so. You guys have fun with that." And then they were like, "This is gross." This post even claimed that they were the prized ingredient in purple applesauce, a delicacy celebrated by the indigenous Saskatchewan peoples. Would you call them Saskatchewanians or look, Saskatchewanian people? Good lord. I don't know what you would call. I'll have to find someone from Saskatchewan and ask, what do you call multiple of you hailing from Saskatchewan? Or do you even say it, or do you just point and go like, "That's home, y'all"? Yeah, we got all of the affected area down, and sounds about right. I'm not going to say that because it's hard enough to say Saskatchewan. It really is. Despite the blatant fakery, the post quickly blew up across X, and Facebook was entranced by the purple apples that tasted like banana and cinnamon. Some even made pilgrimage to produce purveyors in Saskatchewan itself, asking about the brilliantly colored orbs. In fact, Regina's Garden Center reportedly gets inquiries every time AI generated plant pics go viral. She said that customers generally feel a bit silly that they thought it was real. While digitally engineering fruit online seems frivolous, it does illustrate how quick. Oh, for the love of Christ. No, it says AI. It says AI naturalist. It looks like AI. You know what? Be smarter. Interrogate yourself. Ask if this looks like a trick. It is the internet, people. Do you remember when we kind of all figured the internet was, tomfoolery, and we didn't, give it credence of reality until it was, I don't know, actually, fact checked. Maybe humanity is lost because people didn't look into this and think, this looks fake. For the love of all that is holy. That is the show tonight, but I did want to share something. I am working on merch. I know it takes me forever, but this is the first thing that I'm thinking of putting up. It'll be a mug, but you guys have invited me into your tribe. I've invited you into mine. And I think that having something a little positive along with a lot of shirts that have, semi cursy words would be good. So this is my mug idea. It's nothing fancy, but I think it's a message we all need sometimes, especially me. I know that, just being seen as just where I am right now has always been a powerfully wonderful gift. There are always certain people in your life that see you when you're flying and when you're falling, and they're there for you no matter what. And I think, that was kind of what I was putting in here. I might do more edits. I don't know. But that's kind of my idea for this one. It's probably going to be the only heartwarming Oprah style one. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But sometimes we all need a reminder that we are seen and we are loved just as we are. And it's something that, I've struggled with for a long time, and I let my kiddos know every day because sometimes, despite all the things that we do as parents to make our kids feel loved and make our kids feel seen, doing our best, if we don't say the words out loud, they might completely misinterpret things. So I have learned to say the words out loud, and there you go. I will be working on Blessed Be the Closed Captions tomorrow. I just need to find all of my clips with the craziest closed captions to work on a t-shirt and then a couple other things. But I am slowly but surely working on stuff. And don't call me Shirley. I prefer Maud if possible. Guys, growing up, I thought I was gonna be like Steel Magnolia is my favorite movie, and I thought I was gonna be Truvy. I really did. I was like, "I'm gonna be Truvy. I am going to be glamorous like Dolly Parton and able to put my hair in a just a bouffant that will, with Aquanet and Jesus stay up, sky high." But I have realized slowly and surely that I am embracing my inner Weezer, and can I tell you that I'm kind of okay with being in the point of my life, that I'm like, "I'm gonna tell you what I think." So have fun if you go watch the dork bait. And yes, I know politics are supposed to be serious, but Tim Waltz is a dork and JD Vance angered cat ladies. So I call it the dork bait. Have fun with that. I don't know if Shizzy's covering it. Let me see who I can send you guys to. Uh, I have no desire to watch these two bloviate on a day when when we might be starting World War III. For some reason, it seems unimportant. I am sending you over to Shizzy. Have a wonderful evening. I will. Tomorrow will probably be recorded in the morning. I am going to get mid or youngest daughter from school. She's starting her fall break, so it will definitely be recorded, but there will be news, and then I might look at the hearing today that happened with the sheriff that shot the judge because holy fazoli, what is going on there? So I will see you guys tomorrow and we will kind of play it by ear. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the dork bait. Don't do any drinking games that I wouldn't do. So that's basically all of them, unless you are okay having a seventh child. I will see you guys in the morning. Bye. Okay, let's see if this will work.